Good morning. This is Munira from Chicagoland. I am the CEO and founder of Kismet Ventures Inc. And I have a segment called Munira's Musings. I am on the mission of finding people who are adding value to others by doing small deeds, big deeds, you name it. And I am on the mission of finding these people and exposing and promoting them. My guest today is Karrie Klimas, and she is here sharing a few ideas with us. Hi, Karrie. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Well, we met at a group, and you had a few nice things to say, so I thought I should interview you. So tell me what you do and how you do it, and tell me a little bit about you.
Okay, so my name is Karrie Klimas. I'm born and raised here in South Florida. Been living in my same place for about 14 years. My parents have been together 57 years in plantation, and I do have a sister and brother-in-law and Davy. I did the corporate thing, so I did work for some big companies and executive administrative assistant, and wanted something else to do in the part-time job. I did used to work at the Olive Garden for about 7 years. And a friend of mine introduced me to a direct sales company and started selling candles. And when the corporate world let me go, or I got myself set free from the corporate world, I went out to a networking event, and a gentleman told me I shouldn't call myself a candle lady. I should actually call myself call myself something. So I branded myself as the gift problem solver. So for 7 years, I sold candles, purses, and jewelry. And I saw how successful people, because I used to go to conferences and seminars, and I noticed how successful people were so committed to their own evolution. So 7 years ago, I was introduced to a company called Self-Discovery Life Mastery, where I was introduced to their techniques, and which totally changed my life and transformed my networking, my sales, and how I connected with people, and became more of my comfortable self, my true self, more confidence, more successful. Where I used to have an agenda to get what I wanted, now I have an intention to connect and communicate to create more win-wins. And it just became natural for me to feel that this is something I'm very passionate about, and see the success that I've created in my life. And just by learning some simple skills to support other people to learn these skills as well and change their lives to create more success, fulfillment, and happiness.
Wow. So let me go back a little bit. So you worked in corporate, you worked at an Olive Garden until you started direct sales. Did you like direct sales?
Yeah, I would definitely love direct sales. I did take on a couple different industries in direct sales, because it actually gave me the skills to present my product, so become a public speaker in a sort of sense, because I had to present my product to the room. They liked me in addition to the products. It wasn't about the products. So I presented myself well. I got to be able to read a room and feel comfortable connecting and making friends. So some of those, clients are still friends and clients of mine today.
That's awesome. And I know that there are many women out there looking to do something else. They have a job, and then they are looking to do something else. So what would you advise this? I mean, is it okay for them to go into direct sales and then go into something else while they are discovering themselves? What is your advice for them?
My advice would be like any woman wants to take, or man wants to take it on, if that's what they want to do. I mean, go for it. I mean, the only thing that's going to be sabotaging is your own thoughts in your head. So if it is something you truly want to desire to get out of the rut of a corporate world and try something different, I mean, direct sales is always there. You can always go back to corporate. But if it's something truly you want to experience, something different, I would definitely say find somebody who's local that could support you in a team building. I didn't have much team support locally, so I believe a lot of conferences and seminars we go to, you come back and how do you implement those ongoing processes and new strategies that they share with you. So just being at, make sure you have local support people around you.
So that's important. Support is important. But I think support is important in every business, right? You need somebody.
And in your personal life too.
Yeah, you're right. Because if your own people don't support you, then you can't go anywhere. I understand.
Well, if you're some people in your own world sabotage you and they're just fearful themselves. But if you trust this is what you want to do and you find those people that your new family outside of your original family, nothing wrong with that. There's just new people out there. And if that's what you truly want and your heart desires it, go for it.
Okay, so how do you choose then a direct sales company? Yours, you were given a choice with your friend who introduced you. How did you realize that this was something that you wanted to do? Was it the only company that you looked at, or did you look at a few others?
No, the first one that came to me was a candle company, and that's all I knew. And then I sold a couple different companies, but people I was around, and I went to a networking event, saw this one lady selling these interchangeable purses, and sold that for a little while, 7 years. But that's why I met her at a networking event. But if it feels like it touches your heart and it feels like it's something you could sell, I mean, sometimes we get caught up in industries that we don't even use the product. We might have thought it was interesting, but if it's not something you're passionate about, then it's not easy to sell, because if you're not passionate about it, passion sells, and people can feel that in you.
Passion sells. I like that. Okay. So then you said you were somebody introduced you to something else. I forgot. So then
I was introduced to a company called Self-Discovery Life Mastery.
And so what did you learn there, and what are you doing now?
Self-discovery is understanding the vehicle we walk in all day long that came with no owner's manual, which is ourselves. So we have a car, we have a phone, and we have a house that we update, change the oils, but sometimes the parts of us that sabotage us and get in the way of us creating more amazing connections with people and getting to understand people's worlds. There's a lot of defense and sabotage out there that we don't even know that we're reacting or how to change that reaction. So our company, Great People Skills, was born from this foundation of work, and we're the first 2 steps in the self-discovery life mastery process to learn how to be able to connect, communicate, and relate more effectively with people and create more genuine connections, because all anybody wants in life is to be able to pay attention to each other. Nobody's actually taking the time to listen to what each other has to say. And that just, it's a form of disrespect. So if we could actually be able to learn about ourselves and ourselves more, we can better understand other people around us and create more amazing, long-lasting relationships.
So how do you take that and help people now?
Well, I guess we call it a sense of support. We train. So if you wanted to have lunch today and you wanted to order something, you'd actually have to look at a menu. So if you wanted to look at the menu, but you don't actually have lunch until you place the order, take the order, and put the food in your mouth. So that's kind of the scenario. So there's a lot of information out there. So we train people at our workshops in Fort Lauderdale to practice how to pay attention. So to be able to give somebody your full attention is truly a sincere place where people can build trust and respect. So we host a one-day workshop once a month, and Tuesday nights, like today happens to be Tuesday. So our graduates come back to keep practicing, as there's no end in having great people skills to be able to become more comfortable in conflict, understanding your value, being able to share your value, leaving lasting positive impressions with people, being better presenting your message to the world, because there's a human being everywhere you go. So if you had an opportunity to come across a human being somewhere at a coffee shop, networking event, birthday party, anniversary party, you'd actually have some skills in your toolbox. So when you wanted to just start a simple conversation, you could actually become more comfortable rather than uncomfortable with anxiety and not know what to say to people.
So is these work, you said a lot of things, anxiety, you said a lot of things about self-discovery. So are these all taught in one workshop, or is it broken up into different pieces?
Well, Great People Skills is one workshop, and it all boils down to how a person feels and what stories they tell themselves. So it's just 2 very simple skills that develops in a lot of different areas of your life, basically every part of your life, wherever you're at, whatever goals you have, what in business, in life, and teenagers and kids. I mean, our workshops host anywhere from any young people from the ages of 13 all the way up to 70 something, where we had a young woman who brought her mother to the workshop. So it is one-on-one conversations that people are having And if the individual feels they would like to take on their own self-mastery and self-awareness, self-discovery would be the second step in taking on to their workshops and personal one-on-one training that they also offer.
So do you have one-on-one coaching, or everything is done in workshops?
Myself, my business partner, and I are not one-on-one coaching, because when you have a connection or communication with somebody, that is face-to-face. So you're connecting with anywhere between 10 and 30 people at a workshop, learning about yourself. Each person is an opportunity to learn about you as you practice these skills. And the more and more you learn about yourself, how easy it gets, and then you can take the skills out to the real world. And then the next step, if the individual feels that they are inspired to, again, take their own self to that next level of mastery, it's like almost going to, we're like the high school level. You finish high school, okay, what's next? College and getting your master's degree. So we're just taking ourselves as the individual person, that aspect, rather than information, but our own personal experiences of ourselves to become a better human being.
That's awesome. So when you've taken the course and you started doing this, teaching the courses, what other avenues do the graduates of your program take once they finish learning, or is it an ongoing learning?
You're an ongoing project. A human being is here to live forever, as longer however long that is. So again, our program is a one-day workshop and 4 Tuesday night practice nights. So once the individual, the graduate, has attended a one-day workshop, they have 4 Tuesday night skills trainings to come back. Now, how often the individual decides to come back is up to them, but we truly, anything in life, the more you practice something deliberately and effectively, the more you're going to start seeing amazing results. So my challenge is to take it on the package in 1 month and see how amazing your life could change in 1 month. And after the workshop and Tuesday nights of your package are completed, we also offer a second package to take on additional Tuesday night practice nights to continue practicing with other individuals like themselves who are still wanting to become better at communicating and listening. And you can always repeat a workshop. We just had a workshop on Saturday. We did have 2 participants who were reviewing. One has reviewed 3 times. She lives somewhere else, so she was in town locally and wanted to take the workshop to take herself to her next level of improving in these skills, because the more we step away, sometimes we may forget it. So we do come back and practice, like going to the gym. If we go to the gym consistently, we do know there's going to be some amazing results. So it's all about taking that on. And then another lady was there. She brought her boyfriend with her, so she repeated the workshop with him to be that support system as well. We had a family of 3, a mother and her 2 kids, other different couples as well. We've actually had a pair of couples who are divorcees but brought their kids, and their kids are out there telling everybody about the workshop, what amazing results they've gotten in their lives.
That's awesome. So most of the time you get referrals and word of mouth referrals.
Everybody's experience from the workshop is the word of mouth. We've had about 300 people who've come in. 18 people have reviewed, in addition to that 300. And yeah, we feel this is going to be everywhere. It's going to be a lifelong journey. We trust ourselves that our intention is to have a waiting list up here soon, and we'll be having a workshop going from once a month to twice a month, because the word of mouth will be spreading. People are going to start hearing some amazing success, be hearing about us, and want to take this on for their works. I've done presentations for people at their office, very inspired by business owners who see the value for themselves and their team to have these skills as well. And some are even willing to pay half the price for their team to take these skills with them.
And so are you just in Fort Lauderdale, or are you everywhere in the United States?
Currently, we're in Fort Lauderdale. We've been in business. Great People Skills has been in business for 2 years. So our intention is to take it out to the world. So trusting that people are going to be finished, doing their game of playing corporate world or whatever else, that's all right. And when they're ready to become a bigger impact and supporting others to take on their greatest selves as they've taken on for themselves, that we will turn into a franchise, and other people will be training other trainers.
Okay, so you might have a train the trainer program.
Correct.
Okay, have you thought of doing these programs on Zoom like we're doing right now?
No, currently we're still face-to-face. The ideal is when you can feel another person's connection. When you have a face-to-face connection, like these days, social media and things like that, yeah, they're available to you, but the most ideal thing that people would want is being a face-to-face connection, and use all these social media as additional ways to continue the building relationship. But the true face-to-face connection in any personal relationship or business does come face-to-face. And if you can feel more confident and connected at that, then you'd be more confident connecting and following up with them with any form of relationship, whether it's continuing the relationship online, you know, wherever that may be.
So basically, you're going back to the basics, because these days many people have just lost that touch with, with this. We've got this in our hands, and we've forgotten how to talk to people, and people don't know how to, connect, like the basic skills like eye contact or touch and feel, or the handshake. We were taught when we were young to have a firm handshake, and we don't have that anymore. So basically, when you are teaching these people skills, you're teaching them to go right back to the basic and acquiring those skills first, so then they can take those skills and fly.
Yep, it doesn't matter what industry you're in, what kind of business you have, because the more you develop yourself in these skill sets, then you can take on anything. I mean, I'm hireable, but I'm not employable. So, if a business leader, team, wants to hire me, I'm not hireable. But when you want to have your team having these skills that that you see in me, and having your whole team take on this opportunity to be better at communicating, not only their business would be successful, their clients would feel it, feel the presence of them, their family members would like, what are you doing? I just noticed something amazing about you. I just noticed like you're like really paying attention to me. I really feel like respected from that. People forget how to do that. It's a busy world, and yeah, technology takes us away from the true connection. So let's bring it back to the basic and get really good at that, because technology is changing and you're not changing. You're still far behind. And if you're not taking your own personal development seriously, then you're falling behind on yourself and where technology is moving.
That's awesome. No, I mean, I like the model of your company, and I like the way it's going forward, because I have everywhere where you go and there's people involved, like you said, there's a person everywhere. That human connection is lost these days, especially when you're talking to younger folks. And I'm younger than somebody else. And the other day, the lady at the supermarket was young lady. She was telling the cashier, "You need to look at me when you're talking to me." And everybody was just like, "Oh, what does that mean?" And the young girl was like, but and even physicians, right? If you go to physician's office, every time you go to a physician's office, they want to talk to you on just typing way. They don't look at you, they don't touch you, they don't feel you. And 2 minutes before they're leaving, they just hear your heart and listen to your heart, and that's it. It's like, what happened to that touch? Why is technology so much embedded now in our lives, right?
Yep.
So it makes a lot of sense, and I appreciate what you guys are doing, because I think this needs to be a global movement, international global movement. Any last words for the people that are listening to you?
Excuse me, repeat that.
Any last words you want to tell people that are listening to you?
Well, if you're interested to learn more, I certainly welcome people to visit us at greatpeopleskills.net. If you're in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and you want to come out and visit, or I should say in the Tri-County area, that means Broward, Palm Beach, Miami, and Dade. Or if you want to pick up the phone and have a one-on-one conversation and learn more, I'm happy to complimentary to have that opportunity to learn it. If you're ever in Florida, then yeah, we have, all week long. When I'm leaving this, what I'm doing right now, I'm leaving to meet 2 people, inspire them to see if Great People Skills is what they're looking for to support them in their future, and what better relationships they could be having. So, we do have also a couple of videos on YouTube. They can look at Great People Skills, what is GPS, and another one that's our Great People Skills testimonies as well.
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time, taking the time out of your busy schedule and meeting with us. If you can send me the links, I can put it on there, and then I will, we'll upload this video on YouTube. And if anybody wants to subscribe, like our channel, we'd really appreciate it. And we'll send some of the links. We'll also share some of the links that Karrie has, so that people can watch it. I appreciate your time. And I thank you for what you're doing.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your interest and your time, and look forward to connecting with people and yourself.
Thank you.
Thank
Have a good
you.
day.
Have a great day. Bye-bye.